Hi, and welcome to Let's Create with Katrina. Today we're going to make some beautiful stud earrings using faux leather. I'm going to show you how. The supplies that you're going to need will be some stainless steel blank studs. They look like this. Oh, this one has a piece of paper in it. So these are 12 millimeter. They're called a stainless steel blank bezel. And you can find them on Amazon. I got 40 pieces for $8. Okay, there's a bunch of different companies on there that you can get them for, but I like to find the stainless steel ones. And you're going to need some glue. I recommend Crafter's Pick, the Ultimate. It looks like Elmer's glue, but it's very strong. This is a good replacement for some of the toxic glues that are out here because this is non-toxic. It dries clear. You have like a couple seconds to move things around, but then it is a very strong glue, and it's water-based. You're going to need a brush, and I use a little orange juice cap to put the glue in. And then you're going to need something to cut your faux leather pieces. I'm going to show you today how to use the hollow punch set. Okay. Some people use a hole puncher. I don't recommend this one. I haven't done it successfully. I tried using this one and it just got stuck. But I have heard of people using the EK tools. Medium punch, the 1/2-inch one. That works for some. Or you can use your Cricut machine. I've used Cricut Maker Machine. You can just make a circle, and you're going to change the width and height to 0.48 to make the 12 millimeter. The thing about using your Cricut machine, you can make all these circles, but then you have to place your faux leather on the mat accordingly to what you have on here. So that is very time consuming, I found. Or if this is just what you want to do, you can just use a full sheet of faux leather and place it on there. But I like to use my scraps. As you can see, I have a lot of scraps left over, and this is a good way to use up those scraps. Okay, so you're also going to need, if you're going to use the hole punch set, you're going to need a hammer, and you're going to want a piece of wood along with the mat that came, this mat came with my punch set. And you're also going to want some cardstock. I used 120-pound white cardstock, and I believe that's everything that you'll need. Okay, let's get started. I got my piece of faux leather, and I'm going to set it on my mat. I'm going to find a spot that hasn't been ruined. I'm not sure if I'm hitting it too hard or if this is just a cheap mat, but find a spot that hasn't been destroyed. Set the faux leather on there. I'm going to take my 1/2-inch punch. Never, ever, ever stick your finger right here. You can slice it open. I'm going to position it over this particular flower. I want the earring to have this flower in there. So I'm going to set that right here. And then normally I like to use this setup on the floor because on a table you're going to give a little, there's going to be some give, and it's not going to be as easy to cut. But so I'm going to hit this about 10 times, pretty hard, making sure my fingers aren't sliding down and cutting my fingers open. I'm going to lift it up and see if it, sometimes it doesn't cut all the way. Sometimes it sticks inside here. Use your paintbrush or a tool to poke the piece out. Never stick your finger in there, okay? So here it is. Sometimes it still sticks and I pulled it out. So here we go, we got the piece, okay? Sometimes you get little fuzzies on the outside. If you want, you can trim those. Not sure if it makes a big difference, but I'm just picky like that. I like to get those little fuzzies off. So these are great scissors, by the way, and I don't know the name. Oh, Easy Action, Fiskars Easy Action. I think they're the 5-inch. They're actually, when I measure from tip to the end, that's 6 inches, but when I ordered them on Amazon, they said 5 inches. So I got my little fuzzies off of there. And now we're going to take the Crafter's Pick Ultimate Glue, and I'm going to just put a little blob in my orange juice cap. And I'm going to put some glue on my brush, and I'm going to put glue on the back of my faux leather. I'm just going to paint some on, make sure it's covered, but it's not like big globs everywhere. And I'm also going to put some glue on my piece of cardstock that I had cut out with my paper cutter. Okay, this is 120-pound cardstock. And I'm just going to put glue on the back of that. And then I'm going to stick the two pieces together. And you're going to hold it for a second. This glue dries pretty quickly, but I like that if you did line it up just right, you do have a little bit of time to move it over. Okay, and then you can do them in batches and let these pieces all dry, but you can also just go ahead and go on to the next step, which is now you're going to put glue on the back of the cardstock. And you're going to put glue in your bezel. So I'm putting it all around the flat part of the circle, and I'm also getting the edges. Okay? So you don't want big globs, but you want it covered. You're going to place your faux leather and cardstock in there. I like to use a piece of cloth, and I'm using my thumb, and I'm just going to put my fingers all along the edges. And in the middle, press down on the middle to get a nice bond, and then press along the edges to get the edges of the faux leather in there. Sometimes it kind of curls up. I like to keep some hand sanitizer on my desk, and I'll use that to keep my hands nice and clean, so I'm not putting any marks on my faux leather. And then I don't have long fingernails, but I just kind of go along the edge right there and just kind of I'm tucking the faux leather right underneath the edge of the bezel. Now you got to be careful, some materials will leave a dent, so you have to be very gentle. You can't press your fingernail in there real hard. It's just I'm using a combination of my fingertip and a little tiny bit of my fingernail to just kind of make sure that gets right underneath the edge of that bezel. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. And I just spin it around, go around all the edges, and make sure that's all tucked in there. And then I take my cloth, do another press. All right, and then if there's any little pieces of fuzz sticking out, you can pull those out or snip them out. I can't tell if that's the print or if that's, okay. So I got the pebbled texture, and sometimes that throws me off because my eyesight isn't the best. And then you want to take a cloth and just kind of go around the edge, make sure there's no glue that might have got on your fingers and got on the bezel, the earring setting. So there you go. It's pretty simple to do, and they're a lot of fun, and it's a good way to use up your faux leather. I also made these little display earrings out of the 120-pound cardstock and I just cut it out with my Cricut machine. And my Cricut Maker Machine also wrote my name of my company on there. Okay, so if you have any questions, please leave the questions in the comments section. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll make more videos. And if you'd like to check out my other jewelry I have made, I do have a website. It's www.catandesigns, and I sell the faux leather earrings, the stud earrings, the drop style earrings. I sell hoops, and I even sell bows, hair bows, and snap clips. And I even have some beaded jewelry on there as well. If you want to take a look, there's a lot of really nice, unique gifts for yourself, for your friends or family. I really appreciate it if you'd go and check that out, and then tell your friends and family about the website as well. Hey, thank you for watching. I hope that was very helpful. See you next time.